This is totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Today on the show, we'll talk about our new topic, vroom vroom cars, plus what some people do in their cars, like sex.
Yeah, plus news from around the world, and we'll open up the mailbag.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
Everything you need to know.
This is totally useless vehicle information with Nick, Meet, and Roy.
I get a kick out of that every single time. Vroom, vroom.
In 1908, the Model T was introduced by Ford Motor Company. It was the first time a car was available to the average person. But still, the cost was $850 in 1908. That was astronomical money.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
By 1925, because of mass production and the way Ford created the assembly line, get ready. By 1925, you could buy a brand new Ford Model T, as any color you wanted, as long as it was black, for $260.
No.
Yes, from 1908 to 1925, the price went down drastically because of the ability to build them so much quicker. It cut the cost on the car.
That's amazing. Wow. That's pretty cool. I like that one.
Yes, me too.
Awesome. I don't know if you were a fan of the show Knight Rider in the 80s.
I've seen the show, but I was not a fan of it.
Well, a lot of people that were car fans, like really loved the cars that they use on the show, were big fans of the show.
My car always had air conditioning.
Right.
Car fans.
That's right. It was a big air
Go ahead,
conditioner.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
okay.
interrupted you.
It won't shock you to learn that in its debut year, demand was very high for the Pontiac's hottest car because they used Pontiacs in the show. This meant NBC can only get 4 cars to do the Knight Rider's entire first season. Really costly, but they got lucky. In 1983, a car transporter derailed in California. Although the cars were fine, General Motors sold 10 to 12 Firebirds off that train to the studio for $1 each, under the condition that they had to be destroyed once they stopped filming the show.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So
Yeah, right.
Universal, they honored that request, apparently, according to reports, by dropping a wrecking ball on them. But kits were made out of the 1982, 83, and 1984 Trans Am, as well as the base Firebird hardtop.
Yeah, the formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Firebird formula. Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And the voice that
The actor was Craig Daniels.
Craig Daniels, but it was that strange "hello, I'm talking to you." It had no like emotion in the
No,
voice.
not at all.
They're like kind of like us. There are an estimated 1.2 billion cars in the world today. 1.2 billion cars. By 2040, it is estimated that there'll be over 2 billion cars, okay, of which I guess half will be used Subarus. Subarus are amazing. It's the #1 resale of a car, by the way. So to help people out, if you're saying I want to buy a car that has a good resale value, Subaru's
Subaru.
number one in customer satisfaction. Okay, and #1 oldest cars on the road. So I mean, it's just amazing. Subarus. And by the way, go and buy a Subaru today from your local Subaru dealer.
Yeah. No, they're not a sponsor yet, but they might be. But if
You get a pair of Birkenstocks when you buy that car.
You do. I do follow the stock market. Carroll Shelby was having trouble coming up with the name for the Mustang that they were building. After some brainstorming and throwing around some ideas, Shelby goes, "Hey, how far away is the shop from this office building?" And someone said, "About 350. All right, we're calling it the GT350.
Wow.
So if the shop was 400 feet away from the building, they would have called it the GT400.
Cool.
GT350.
Actually, did you know that the original Mustang that comes out, now you were saying Carroll Shelby.
Yes.
So Shelby really wasn't. It was more of what's his name, the one that wrote Lee Iacocca, who came out with the Mustang. Shelby really came out with the GT350, which was more of a different car. That really wasn't the Mustang. But the Mustang, interesting fact about the Mustang is it's one of the few cars that came out in half year, and they marked it half year, 1964 and a half.
Wow.
So that's how the car is marked on titles, 1964 and a half Mustang.
See, totally useless information with Nick and Roy.
So this is really interesting. In the U.S., 95% of cars are sold in automatic transmission. 95% are automatics. On the other hand, 80% of cars sold in Europe and Japan are manual transmission. Do you drive stick, Nick?
No, I never learned how to drive stick.
I love driving a manual stick shift car. I love it. And I taught my wife how to drive a stick shift car years, like when we first met.
Yeah.
And I taught her how to drive a stick shift car. And, she's really not that great of a driver. She's a very poor driver. But then again, most women are.
Oh, my goodness. Really? Wow. Yeah.
Now, you know that's not true.
No, not at all. Because you just downshifted on your marriage.
And folks, when you go to that website and can't get on, now you know why.
Yeah, nickandroy.com. Send your complaints to nickandroy.com. Oh, look, there's a Deb. Do you know what Deb here? She just emailed us.
Yeah, right.
So the Rolls Royce has that iconic hood ornament, right?
Mm-hmm.
A beautiful ornament. It has a name.
Yes.
The Spirit of Ecstasy.
Oh, yes. And that's what happens when you buy one of those cars.
Yes. And speaking of ecstasy, no, not the drug, but the feeling, our sex topic is coming up next on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
Oh, my God. So if you buy a Rolls Royce, you get the Spirit of Ecstasy with it.
Yeah, you don't get ecstasy, the drug. You get to experience ecstasy in the back seat.
Yeah, because you probably have a driver.
Yes. Okay, every once in a while on this show, we always quote Rodney Dangerfield. He said, my wife wanted to have sex in the backseat of the car, but she wanted me to drive. There you go, Rodney Dangerfield.
In 2017, Tesla became the second most valuable car company. You know me, Nick, and you don't have to start me off about Elon Musk and Tesla because I just don't understand why people buy that car, but they do, and there's loads of them on the road. But Tesla is the second most valuable car company. Guess who the first is? It's General Motors. General Motors is still the number one most valuable car company in the world.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean they sell the most cars, but they are the most valuable car company. And coming in number two is Tesla, who can't even get a damn car off the damn line properly. But what the hell? Yeah. Why not?
They're waiting to put in the engine.
Oh my God. It's really, yeah. Okay. Can you believe it though? That's wild.
Now, speaking of Volkswagens, if you know some of the Volkswagen model names, and you're trying to wonder, well, where did they come from? And in a future episode of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, I will come up with car names and how they came to be. But in Volkswagen's case, they were named after winds. A Passat is the German word for trade wind. Jetta is named after the jet stream, and the Volkswagen Golf is named after the Gulf Stream, not the sport.
Really?
So Passat is the German word for trade wind, Jetta is for jet stream, and Golf is named after the Gulf Stream.
Why do they spell it Golf?
I don't know. They're German. What do they know?
What? It's a name to Liechtenstein. And they had too much beer to drink. So basically, you're saying that the story was just passing wind.
That's right, it was. full of hot air. And speaking of which, you're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Hey, how about you pop into the back seat and
Bow, bow, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All about sex.
Wasn't talking to you. I was just talking to our audience. Thank you for listening. And for those of you who are prudes, this one's for you.
The following segment of the Totally Useless Information podcast may be too sultry and too sexy for some listeners.
Ooh. Are you hot in here, or is it just me? What's your major? In 2014, UC Berkeley's survey found that arts and humanity majors have the most sex. Arts and humanities. If you major in arts...
Is that even a course? Arts?
Well,
art
it is a course.
but
Apparently, it's an intercourse with them. But arts and humanities majors... arts and humanities majors have more sex, while science and engineering majors had the least sex. Surprise.
Of course they did, because they have pocket protectors.
Yeah. And also, the Band-Aids on their glasses gets in the way. And by the way,
of course they do.
Here's further to that study. In 2014 at Berkeley, over half of the engineering major respondents were virgins.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. In college, I was a male model for the arts, for them to draw naked male models.
Yeah.
You wonder how this whole thing starts out, right?
That's right, yeah. It's all about perspective. If you have someone in your life that you'd like to send a very special birthday gift, this is for you. What is it? It's the Nick and Roy's birthday salute to your loved one.
You can hear a sample right on the website. Go on there, folks. If you have somebody that you say, well, they have everything, I don't know what to buy them, this is the perfect gift. Every person that's got one for somebody, they end up getting them for someone else because they just loved it so much. We have so many comments from the people. We've done hundreds of them now. It's insane. It's fantastic.
Go to nickandroy.com/birthdays, nickandroy.com/birthdays to get yours today.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. Totally useless information with Nick and Roy continues. Listen, laugh, and learn.
So let's get back to sex, shall we?
Sure.
Many studies have been done, but scientists are still unsure why we have pubic hair. Their best guess is that it holds secretions that hold pheromones or sexual scents. Scents. Right.
Right.
Okay. Can we say longer shower? I mean, shave it off.
So what you're saying is shorter hair, longer showers.
Listen, there's no need to be lying around on the rug.
Oh, boy. Woo. Boy, I have to open up a window, yeah.
Let me tell you something. Don't beat around the bush.
So, because I'm older, I just got a hot flash. The sex box.
Nick, wait a minute. Hold on a second, though.
Yeah.
But can you imagine... We're supposed to listen to the science. Of
course, it is the science. It is the science. I'm not sure, but longer showers, shorter hair, longer showers. That's the T-shirt we're going to make.
You're great.
There was a British television show called Sex Box, where couples went into a box on stage in front of a live studio audience. They had sex, and then they came out and talked about the sex they just had with a panel of sexperts.
Really?
Yeah.
I went on that show, but a week later I came out of the box with Heidi Klum. Boy, did we have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so did her lawyers and yours, right? And the funny thing is, when you were on that television show, you went in by yourself.
Yeah, it took me a week, though, to get excited.
That's right.
I went in by myself.
You went in by yourself. And
came out and had a whole lot to talk about.
Wow, let's pause for a commercial break. Oh, it's only 2 minutes? Okay. It's actually your turn to tell the people about sex on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
Avocados are also known as the fruit. I like avocados and guacamole. I tell you the truth, when I found this out, it upset me. Avocados are also known as the fruit from the testicle tree.
Nice.
Yes. Yes. I'll tell you the truth, the guys who pick them must have a ball.
Or two.
But when you go to the supermarket, it doesn't say fruit from the testicle tree. It says avocado when you're walking down the produce aisle.
Yeah.
It says avocado on the sign because fruit from the testicle tree probably wouldn't fit on a small sign like that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Get
Get a bigger sign.
Yeah, I love guacamole, but now I'm starting to. By the way, avocados are also considered an aphrodisiac. No
Oh,
wonder I love guacamole so much. I'm eating it like crazy.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then your testicles will be really busy.
Oh, sure. Hang out in a tree.
Sudden heart attacks happen during sex. Okay, they're rare.
Mhm.
Most of them happen to men who are cheating on their wives.
Of course it does, because the phone rings.
Where are you?
Shut that FaceTime off.
That's right. Wow, you're eating a guacamole. According to a couple of cardiologists, when heart attacks occur during or after sex, they almost always involve older men in extramarital affairs with younger women. For those men, it would have been safer for them to stay at home and burn off excess energy on the treadmill in the basement.
It's older men in extramarital affairs
That's
when they
right.
get the bill.
Yeah.
That's when they have the heart attack. Yes. Well, get ready, folks. There's hope for everyone. Scientists and researchers consider the largest sex organ
Yes.
to be the skin.
Oh.
The skin. That's right. That's right. And the most powerful sex organ to be the brain. So the skin is the largest, and the brain, okay, is the most powerful. This kind of explains why scientists and researchers rarely get sex, because they really don't know what to do. I'm trying to use my brain. It's like, no, I'm sorry.
No.
That's why scientists are usually alone. They're like, hey, baby, look, I got a lot of skin. It's all hanging down, too. Look at that skin hanging under my arm. Sexy, right?
If that's not foreplay, I don't know what is.
Wait a minute. You want to see something really great? I'll take my hat off.
Oh, look out.
There's my brain under there. Come on.
An orgasm can alleviate cold symptoms. Now, we are not giving any medical advice here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, okay? We are not giving medical advice. However, research shows that having an orgasm can help clear your sinuses. According to an emergency room physician, Travis Stork, of the doctors. I wonder if he delivers babies. Anyway, the brain tells the adrenal glands to secrete adrenaline during sexual fulfillment.
Right.
This release of adrenaline causes the blood vessels to constrict, which in turn causes the sinuses to open. So the next time you get congested, skip the meds and go for the big O.
Oh, so the orgasm clears your nose.
And your sinuses, yes, absolutely, yes.
Well, I don't know how that's going to work with people that have allergy problems. You're in the park and there's all the pollen around and you're like, hey, I'm sorry, but I have to clear my nose. This one got me. Okay. I gave up my gym membership and I've called and reinstated my gym membership. Okay. There is a core movement that can be done while working out that will make you orgasm. It's a core movement of the core of your stomach. No wonder the gyms are so packed with women. And they all look like they're having so much fun.
That's right.
Yeah, they're breathing heavy. I thought they were just on the treadmill and breathing heavy. No, it's not. It's the core movement.
That's just in the parking lot.
I got to learn this movement.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
And now for something completely useless.
Houseflies have taste buds on their feet, which are 10 million times more sensitive to sugar than the taste buds on the human tongue.
So they have taste buds on their feet.
So that's why the houseflies are all over the place, right, during picnics and whatever, because what do you have on picnics? You have like watermelons and fruits and all kinds of sweet stuff. So they have their taste buds on their feet, 10 million times more sensitive to sugar than our taste buds in our human tongues.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And people know from our show, what is a housefly hum in?
In the key of F.
Isn't that wild, folks? They hum in the key of F.
You know what also is in the key of F? Are most car horns, most North American car horns. There you go.
Or in the key of F?
Yes.
Why, to attract flies?
Yes. Speaking of attractions, you go to our website, you can send us an email. It's really simple, nickandroy.com.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
This email is from Harry from MacDill Air Base near Tampa, Florida. So Harry is in the military, okay? And he says he listens to the show with 20 of his airmen friends, okay? So now not only does he listen to the show, but he has 20 other MacDill Air Force Base Air Force people watching, and he says thank you for making us laugh and giving us a lot to talk about. Well, Harry, first, me and Nick have to say that we should be thanking you and your buddies. So if you guys are listening right now, we want to thank you for your service. In fact, I want to thank all of you for your service from all of us and our listeners. It's our pleasure to make you guys laugh. And I hope that what we're saying to you is great and that you guys are passing it around. And that's what our show's all about. So it is really an honor to hear that, Harry. Thank you so much. And to you guys, at a big shout out to MacDill Air Force Base near Tampa. And let me tell you something, too. If you ever run out of ammunition and you're in a battle, just tell a few of Nick's jokes.
Oh,
and the enemy will die right there.
Yeah, you were doing so well. It was so heartfelt and warm and fuzzy in the cockles of my heart and everything else. Wow. But thank you. So anyway, you go to our website and send us an email. It's really easy. Go to our website, nickandroy.com, and click on Contact Us. That's nickandroy.com.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy continues. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Do you know what a grabotologist is? A grabotologist.
No, I don't. I mean, it sounds like something you might grab, but no, I guess that's not it.
Well,
no.
It's not someone that goes around grabbing women or experiencing the feeling of thong skin. Nope. It's a person who collects neckties.
Oh.
They are called grabotologists. So if you get anything from the show today, walk around saying, do you know what a grabotologist is? And make believe you're smart.
Yes, just make believe. Men didn't wear underwear until the 17th century. Women didn't.
I'm not wearing them now.
Oh.
In fact, I'm not wearing pants.
Wow. So we should give you a $500 fine or 60 days in jail. Women.
Hey, listen, Nick.
Yes.
I'm going to stop you for 1 second.
Yes.
I thought of another ingenious idea that I'm going to share with the people here.
Okay.
I call it the Zoom suit. What it is literally just a cover in the front of you that looks like you're wearing a jacket, a shirt, and a tie.
Right.
But literally, you could be completely naked. It's more or less like one of those Huggy blankets that you just throw over you while you're on a Zoom call. It makes it look like you're dressed.
Men didn't wear underwear until the 17th century. Women didn't bother wearing underwear until 1800. A former infantry soldier and medic gives a plausible explanation. He writes that when on the field, soldiers sweat a lot and can't take showers for days. Their uniforms are loose enough to allow for ease of movement, so they don't wear underpants in order to prevent skin eruptions and fungal infections.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, that's where the term commando comes from, because apparently it's the soldiers who went without underwear for the very reason we just explained.
Okay, that's a good one, folks. You heard it here. Elizabeth I. I don't have the dates here, but Elizabeth I, Queen Elizabeth I, was so fond of a hat, wearing a hat, that she forced women to wear hats on Sundays in public and on holidays. So, if you didn't wear the hat, the person that gives the fines for the thongs would run up to you. No, really, honestly, it would be a big fine. So women wore hats on Sundays and holidays. If you were caught, you got a very heavy, steep fine.
And the wrath of the queen, which you don't want, of course.
Oh, no.
So red heels. Now, who's the designer who came up with the red heels? Red soles?
Louboutin.
Louboutin.
Not Louis Vuitton.
Right.
would it be baton?
Baton. Okay. Well, in the 1670s, Louis XIV decreed that only members of the royal court were allowed to wear red heels. It was an easy way to distinguish someone of the upper classes from a commoner. So red heels was decreed by the king in the 1670s, Louis XIV. Maybe that's where Louis Vuitton came from. Maybe that's a descendant of Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Nick. I think you're onto something here. I mean, we're quite the conspiracy theorists, but I thought my grabitologist thing was pretty good. But I gotta hand it to you. You got two really good ones.
Thank you.
That one's a really good one. Louis Vuitton probably knew that and took the name Louis Vuitton because, you know, he knew about the red heel thing.
And he wore
could be, folks. Could be. Somebody
shoes.
look into this. Get on and shoot us an email.
The way to reach us is go to nickandroy.com, to click on Contact Us. We'll get the email. We will respond. And we want to thank and welcome all those listeners in Windsor, Auburn, Maine, Westchester, Ohio, Wakefield, United Kingdom, and Troy, Michigan. And now it's time for Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy as they present Dreams. Wake up. Wake up. Dreams.
What was that?
It's the Totally Useless Information podcast players. We talk to you about dreams, not only about what you dream and what they might mean, and we talk about dreams in general. So I'll start off with, what if you dream that you're naked? Nudity indicates vulnerability. When you're without your clothes in your dreams, you are most vulnerable. Unless you're in Melbourne, Florida, of course. There's absolutely there's nothing that you can hide behind. The dream may parallel a waking situation where you feel helpless, where you have completely let your guard down. Perhaps you're in a relationship where you have opened up yourself at the risk of being rejected.
Yeah, I had a dream I was naked, and in the dream I was asking my wife, honey, where's the credit card? Okay. And then she found it, and I was charged $10.
It was a service charge.
Woo! You have your most vivid dreams during REM sleep. REM sleep, of course, is the sleep where you're most in a catatonic state. During REM sleep, you may dream you are running, so the brain shuts down and paralyzes your muscles so that you don't run the hell out of bed. Now, if your brain could only paralyze Heidi Klum's muscles so I could catch her in my recurring dream, that would be awesome.
Yes, absolutely. And she's dreaming of you getting arrested.
Actually, Nick, I'm yelling, Heidi, come back here. I have a ticket for you for that thong you're wearing. But go on, go on.
To see a burning candle in your dream signifies that good luck and hope will be coming your way in small and steady amounts. You are in a very comfortable stage in your life and may be seeking spiritual enlightenment. Lit candles in your dream are also symbolic of intellect, enlightenment, awareness, or search for the truth.
Yeah, because you're putting light on stuff. You know, this is a cool one. It's a quickie, too. Most people dream in color, but only 12% of people dream in black and white. Those are the same people that are real snobby and probably dream in subtitles as well.
Yes.
Yes. I only watch foreign films.
Yes. The following dream is closed captioned for the intelligent impaired. If you're dreaming that you see your car battery, it symbolizes your stamina. To dream that your car battery is dead suggests that you're overwhelmed and overworked, which is probably why you need a Viagra. You need to slow down.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yes. So to recap, to see that if you're dreaming of a car battery, it symbolizes your stamina. But to dream that your car battery is dead suggests that you're overwhelmed and overworked. You need to slow down and set some time for yourself, or else run the risk of collapsing from exhaustion. Which reminds me of a dream I had. I dreamt the other night I was a muffler, and in the morning I woke up exhausted.
Folks laugh. He'll stop.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's talk about nocturnal penal tumescence. I'll say that again simply because it's hard for me to read. Sometimes called the old morning wood. In fact, men have 3 to 5 erections every night while they're sleeping. And it has nothing to do with sexual dreams. Or at least I hope my wife believes that.
Yes.
No, really, honestly, it has nothing to do with sex or dreaming sexual things. You just normally, as a biological function, I believe that some of it has to do with not urinating while you're sleeping, and so on and so forth. But you have 3 to 5 erections, and it's called nocturnal penile tumescence.
So, you might be pitching a tent in the morning. Is that what you're saying? It has nothing to do with sex.
Sure. It's fun. It's like camping.
Yes.
Got the Viagra. It's like a cabin tent.
And since you're dreaming of candles, you can light a candle in the tent.
There you go.
If you're dreaming that you're wearing dentures, it indicates that you're not being completely truthful in some waking matter. To see or dream that others are wearing dentures suggests that someone in your life is not who they say they are. They are being deceitful.
People who sleep face down are more likely to dream about sex. Also, they're more likely to dream about being locked up, naked, smothered, or swimming. Actually, it just sounds like a sex dream to me.
Yes, it does.
That's a sex dream to me, being smothered, locked up, handcuffed, thrown in a pool.
Yes. What's wrong with that?
With the whole cast of the swimsuit model edition.
And they're all wearing thongs. They're all get thrown in jail for 6 months. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
There's only 2 planets in our solar system that don't have moons, and that would be Mercury and Venus. And I read this. It made me feel bad. So what I did is I went out last night. I turned my back to both planets and dropped my pants.
Blue moon. There's another 6 cents we got to take out of our coffers.
Yeah.
Remember the periodic table?
Yes.
I remember reading it periodically.
Mm-hmm.
The only letter on the periodic table that does not exist is the letter J. Because, you know, they have different letters representing different elements. It is simply because no word for any language correctly describes an element that begins with the letter J. So the letter J is the only letter in all of the alphabet that does not exist on the periodic table.
Wow. So you're talking about elements, which is a wonderful segue for me. So as usual, I have one for the tree-hugging hippies. Okay? Because of all the trees and the ocean, the number 1 element found on planet Earth is oxygen. Oxygen is by far the number 1 element. So for all of you tree-hugging hippies that turn around and say, we got no more trees, you're killing the ocean, take a deep breath. Relax. There's so much oxygen. It is the number 1 element found on Earth.
That's right.
Either that or the hot air that comes out of the tree-hugging hippies.
Well, that's carbon dioxide.
Mm-hmm. See, they're wrecking the planet.
That's right.
And don't pull their finger.
Yes, more methane into the atmosphere.
Yeah, no good.
The blue whale can produce sounds up to 188 decibels.
Wow.
That is the loudest sound produced by a living animal and has been detected as far away as 530 miles.
Cool.
Okay, so to give you some comparison, the sound of a jet engine at 100 feet away is 140 decibels. Again, 188, 140. A balloon popping, which everyone hates, 157 decibels.
Cool.
12-gauge shotgun, 165 decibels.
Yeah, and remember, too, in the previous show, I think our last show, we said that sound travels 4 times faster in water. So just think about that. It's so loud and traveling faster. Pretty cool.
Yes.
So there's one for the blue whales. Lobsters. Those expensive little crustaceans, nasty looking monsters that we love to torture and then eat. You ever put them over the pot?
Do they scream?
No, I think they say that they do. They whine somehow in some, like high-pitched whine. I don't know that, and please don't send me letters, but I do enjoy boiling the pot and then hanging them over and then telling them what their fate is going to be.
Like a sort of like some sort of torture. Okay, you better tell me your secrets, otherwise I'm going to drop you into the pot.
Yeah, I love dangling them over the pot. But anyway, maybe they're so expensive because they're actually blue bloods. And we know from a previous show what blue bloods means, very rich and wealthy. Well, guess what? Lobsters really have blue blood. They do not have red blood. Their blood is blue.
That's amazing. Why are you blue? It's in my blood.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
Oh, no.
Thieves.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Thieves targeted a farm in southeast Minnesota that contained an unusual and surprisingly valuable item. Bull semen.
What?
The Austin Daily Herald reports that a canister containing $70,000 worth of bull semen was stolen.
This is bull's semen.
No bull. Yes, bull semen.
Come on.
It was $70,000 worth was stolen from a barn near Leroy on the border with Iowa.
How much semen is 70,000 worth of
I don't
bull
know. They weren't in the Navy.
Nick, is this bull?
No, it's not. Mower County Sheriff Therese Amazi told the newspaper the canister was taken from the farmer's unlocked barn. Well, there you go. Now, you have that much valuable bull semen. Why would you leave the barn door unlocked?
Who keeps semen unlocked? I mean, if you're going to save your semen, you might as well lock it up, right? I mean, it's got to be worth something.
And they think it possibly took place between 11 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. on an Easter Sunday when nobody was on the property.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
So they did it on a holy day.
That's correct.
Between when?
11 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. If you
How did they narrow this down to like a time? Is that when people go stealing bull semen? Is
I
it
don't
like
know.
I better get up because I gotta go out and steal some bull semen?
Now, this is an unusual but not unique crime. The Washington Post reported in 2005 that $75,000 worth of bull semen was stolen from a farm in Maryland, explaining that the difficulty in procuring and storing bull semen, coupled with the animal's sometimes reluctance to breed, leads to a high premium on the goods.
Because bulls are not really sexy animals or aramis at that even.
No.
So I guess to get them excited and stuff, I don't know what you'd have to do. I mean, stick a couple of horns on Heidi Klum. I mean, I don't know what you do.
Now, police have no suspects at this stage, and the case has been handed over to investigators.
You gotta hand it to them. They're gonna get more bull semen.
So basically,
do they have to take a sample of the bull semen to figure out?
That's right.
Hold on a minute, I gotta get a sample.
That's right. So they asked a couple of bulls here. They showed them a copy of Playboy, and then they wanted to check the sample.
They showed them a copy of Play Cow. What are you talking about? The one cop said to the other cop, "Hey, stop being a jerk."
Wow, look at
what are you talking about? I'm trying to get a sample.
Play Cow. Look at the udders on that one. Police have
know
no
what?
suspects. Yes.
But anyway,
So apparently, according to police, the thieves came and went.
Nick, how are we going to get to the bottom of this? We need to keep on this story.
That's right, just in case. So you stay tuned to Totally Useless Information.
Nobody
with
should
Nick
be
Ray.
able to get away with that.
No,
When
but $70,000 worth. Come on now. Quite valuable stuff.
70,000, is that like a gallon or maybe 5 gallons?
We're not sure. We'll check to see exactly how much they contain. But in the meantime, this is all.
Wait, I'll tell you the truth. This is a sticky crime.
The thieves came and went. That's all the time. Oh, thank goodness. That's all the time we have.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of crime erupting in this state.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode. Listen every week as more and more of you are getting totally useless information from us than any other source around the world. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll scour the internet far and wide to find more useless information for you guys next time.
And while we're doing that, you need to tell a friend about the trend. You need to push us on social media. Do like the guy from MacDill Air Force Base, Harry. Harry's a nice guy. He's got 20 friends listening. That's our thing. 20 friends. That's what every single listener needs to do.
That's right.
Thank you. We'll thank you in advance.
I'm
and
Nick.
then we'll get to the bottom of this bull sperm thing.
It's bull semen. Come on now, get it right.
That's true. That would be the combination of sperm and semen, I guess. I don't know.
Bull semen. I'm Nick.
Wait a minute. No, they weren't seamen. They were airmen. They were in the Air Force.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.